Well, hey, my friends, you're watching Wired Up Retro. It's episode 45, and today I have an episode about a controller adapter that's just become available on the market. This is made by an eBayer who goes by the name Ikonsgr74. He's also an Atariage member, and there he goes by Ikonsgr, and it's IKONSGR. So if you do reach out to him on Atariage asking him to make you one of these, I think you'll get it for a pretty reasonable price. And if you go through eBay, you can get it like that. Well, not exactly. He lives out in Greece, so you're going to basically have to wait a week and a half or so in order for it to be shipped overseas. But you know, if you're in England or in Europe, I think you got it made. But I really do think that this seller has proved himself over the course of the past 4 years. I've known about Ikonsgr, and he's very, very good. He makes good quality products, and even in my very first Wired Up Retro video, I presented one of his adapters and talked about it quite a bit and how good it is. So over the course of the past 3 to 4 years, he's continued to make adapters, and there have been some improvements made. And this is his first official Atari 5200 controller adapter. So I'm pretty excited to present this today. Great product. So what does it do? Well, basically, it's going to allow you to use Atari 2600 joysticks of a variety of types on your Atari 5200 instead of the original Atari 5200 controller. And this is for the 5200 games that are digital, you know, like games like Berserk, games like Dig Dug, Pac-Man. There's so many of them. In fact, you know, there were 69 official 1980s 5200 games. And of this 69, I think it's 63 that will work with this adapter. And the other 6 that won't work are games that were specifically analog-only games. Those would be like Missile Command, Super Breakout, Gorf, and I'm trying to think of a couple others. Star Wars, the arcade game, Kaboom, and there's a new one that got released not too long ago called Tempest. And that one was actually, they started making it in the 80s and they never finished it, but then they finished it around 2012. And that game is pretty much an analog only game. So just be aware, there's a few that won't work with the adapter, but the vast majority are going to work just fine with it. I think Beam Writer is another one that's a little touchy when it comes to the analog only aspect. You can try it with the adapter and see how it goes, but I think it might be a little touchy. So another controller that I want to mention that'll work with this, that I've experimented with, is the CX22. This is a trackball made for the Atari computers and Atari 2600. It's actually, it has a one-button function, but the buttons are both right and left on this controller. So on certain games, let's say Gyrus for the Atari 5200, trackball control is phenomenal with that, and it wasn't designed to work with the actual 5200 trackball. So to use this with Gyrus is a real treat, and so I would definitely tout that as something you want to try. There's another game on the 5200 that actually works with the original 5200 trackball, but it doesn't work well, and that's Defender. But if you use, let's say, the Sega Sports Pad, which by the way is a 9-pin connector, just like that CX22 Atari trackball, well, this is Atari compatible, and it's got 2 buttons, and it's actually a Master System, a Sega Master System controller. But on Defender, which is a 2-button game, this actually enables you to play the game very accurately. I would definitely say this is worth a go. If you haven't tried it before, I think Defender is kind of neat with a trackball, especially when it works a little bit better than what you get with the original 5200 trackball, interestingly enough. So another thing worth mentioning is that Genesis controllers and Sega Master System controllers will work as 2-button controllers on your 5200 using the Icons adapter. And this works obviously just as a 1-button controller. All right, another controller that will work, and this is one initially, when I tried it, I was finding, I ran into an issue and I was like, oh, it doesn't seem compatible. But then I tried it again and then I realized, that's what I did wrong. In order to boot this up, and I've mentioned this in one of our recent videos about the 5200, but this is actually a Commodore 64 mouse It's the model 1351 Commodore 64 mouse. But when you plug it in directly to this new adapter, it's a 9-pin connection. It won't work. But if you hold down the right button, plug it in, and then turn on the console, then let go after the console boots up, it gets put into what's called pseudo analog mode. Okay, it's not a full-on analog, but it's actually designed to play digital games in a pseudo analog way. And if you want to watch my one of my last 2 videos, I went into this a little bit and explained it. So if you haven't watched my mouse video for the 5200, definitely check that out. It's an interesting mouse to use on 5200 games. Now, in the past video when I was using it, I was using the Master Play clone, which was made in 2016, I believe. And it works great with that. With this new adapter, it also works. I would say that it's just a little bit different in the way it feels when using it with the newer adapter. I'd say I kind of honestly liked it a little better with the Master Play clone, and when it came to the smoothness of the gameplay. I mean, it's just a subtle difference, hardly any, but a very slight difference. So if you own both, go for the Master Play clone if you're going to use the mouse. But if you're going to buy this new adapter, you happen to have one of these, by the way, these are kind of expensive these days, I think it's worth a try. And again, gyrus, thumbs up. If you're playing it with this, it's a lot of fun. Now, if you're trying to play Berserk with this, yeah, it's a little challenging. I'm not thinking this works as well for this kind of game, but if you're playing, let's say, River Raid or Dreadnought Factor, I think the mouse works kind of nicely for those kind of flight games. All right, so I want to just touch a little bit on the history of some adapters, and I have a reason behind this. So you can skip forward if you're not interested in history at all, but this is just a little brief synopsis of some of the adapters that have come out in the past 5 years for the Atari 5200. Actually, this is a adapter made by Atariage member Bohoki, and Bohoki at this point is not making these. These were made for a number of years by him, and many Atariage 5200 fans have this adapter. It allows you to use a variety of different PC 15-pin controllers on the 5200, and these are either digital or analog or both. There are a wide variety of different types of controllers you can use. Anything from mini steering wheels to full-on flight yokes or full-on steering wheels. Also game pads that look like PlayStation controllers. You can use controllers that look like Genesis controllers or Saturn controllers. There's so many different options to play your 5200 games with this. And the nice thing about it is that it allows you to play all 69 5200 games. There's none left out because this uses controllers basically that have both analog and digital properties. So I really like this. Now, back on my first episode of Wired Up Retro, I bought an Ikonsgr adapter, and when it's plugged in to the Bohoki adapter, it goes from a 15-pin to 9-pin connector, which is what you plug your Atari or Master System controller into. It's not, by the way, Genesis compatible. And then you plug your Bohoki 15-pin PC controller adapter to your 5200, then your controllers will work. Now, this had a limited capability. Some of the 2600 controllers, some of the Master System controllers wouldn't work with it. Then Ikonsgr came out with a newer version of it, which was a little more compact. And again, using my 15-pin controller adapter made by Bohoki, when you connect these two together, then you're going to have the same thing, but added compatibility of Genesis controllers. Pretty much every Master System controller will work, and you'll get a much wider compatibility with the Atari 2600 controllers, including Atari's own famous joystick. So I showed this in episode 25 of Wired Up Retro, and I even expounded upon it further, showing how you could use this to enable your PlayStation and Wii controllers, Wii U controllers, to be compatible with your 5200. And I also explained a little bit about the NES controllers as well becoming compatible with additional Camerica adapters. I probably won't go into that in this episode, but everything you could do in episode 25 with these two adapters, well, the new adapter made by Ikonsgr allows you to do the very same thing. So if you do want to watch episode 25 and see all the variety of different options that you have, I think that you definitely could benefit from watching that episode. All right, so anyway, this is our new adapter. So if you plug it, let's unplug our 5200 controller and plug this in instead. Now it just direct connects and it fits fine in the slot there. You have here a 15-pin connector, which you can take your 5200 controller and plug it in. Now, when I first got this 5200 controller plug is just a little tiny bit too big to fit in there. In fact, there's a little ridge at the top of my connector for the 5200 controller that kind of prevented it to go in. So I got in there with some needle nose pliers and opened it up just a little is all it takes. I'm showing you some images there of what it took to do this. Just make sure you don't bend those little pins on the inside. You got to be a little cautious about that. So yeah, here I am. I'm plugging it right in here, and it fits pretty well. It's not a really tight fit, but it gets contact. That's the main thing you want there. Then you take your 2600 or Genesis or Master System controller and you plug that right in here, and that enables you to get some nice 2600 controller compatibility. All right, now there is actually on this adapter a little button that you can press that gets you started on your gameplay. So I'm going to play a little Berserk, and I'm playing with great control here. Nice controller for this game. And you know, as a kid, I used to play this at a friend's house with this kind of controller. So this is the one I'm kind of most used to playing Berserk with. All right, let's see here if we can take care of these robots. All right, get that diagonal. Got him. And missed. Great. Boy, he appeared right by me. All right. So you get the idea. That's a one-button game. I'm going to go ahead and switch it out to a two-button game now. Okay, we got our game Meteorites up and running with our Genesis controller connected, and the 5200 controller is also connected here into the side of the adapter. You can press the start button, and that's nice because, you know, you can have your 5200 controller with you. Let's say you're seated in a chair a few feet away. That's kind of convenient. I'll come up to the console, press a start button. But if you don't have a 5200 controller that works, you can do that. You can go up to the console, press the start button on the adapter, and lo and behold, your game gets started. So it's kind of a nice feature on that adapter. I do like that. Now this is a two-button game because you're going to want to sometimes do hyperspace. There, like that. And then to go forward, you just press up on the D-pad. This is... trying to get these last few. Missed. Oh. Got it. Now, if I can get him, that would be awesome. Oh man, I am sailing. Oh man. Here we go. Great. Sometimes they just spawn you right in the wrong spot. I guess, you know, they figure once in a while you're going to have to blow up. That was close. So that's 2 or 3 spawns without blowing up. That's encouraging. Oh, that was close. Yeah, that was close. 4 spawns without blowing up. That's pretty good. I like Meteorites. I think it's a good design game. I mean, well designed. All right, so I direct connected the mouse. You're pressing the right button, turn the console on. We've got Centipede up on the screen. We'll give it a shot with the mouse. All right, undo the hold, press start. Okay, here we go. So, you know, accuracy's pretty good. I wouldn't say phenomenal, but I'm getting somewhere. So there we go. Sometimes it does slightly waver, and it wasn't doing that with the Master Play clone on my episode where I dealt with the 5200 on this, but it's not bad. It really is. It's worth a try if you got the mouse. It's definitely worth a try. Oh, yeah, he came right at me. Now, maybe a game that's a little smoother like River Raid would go better with that. In fact, I'm wondering how Zaxxon might work with it. Let's give it a shot. Another thing I want to mention here is that you might notice that the adapter, it's a hard board. Oh, let's try this again. Okay. So another thing you might notice is that this is, you know, it's a circuit board and it's direct connect to the 5200. If someone were to come along and, I don't know, accidentally step on it or push on it with their hand and it bent it, that would be some serious damage. Now, one thing you could do is buy, what I did is I bought this 15-pin male to 15-pin female extension cord, and you could plug that into the 5200. By the way, it fits. It's not a tight fit, okay? It fits though. And then you plug this in, and then, yeah, you wouldn't have so much to worry about somebody pushing on it and breaking it, okay? So that, I got this adapter at mono price for, I think, under $5 shipped. It was dirt cheap. Okay, we're ready to roll here with the game. Oh, I forgot to do the holding the button when I turned on the console. All right, once it boots up, then I can let go. And hopefully we'll see that it works. Okay, here we go. I'm going to try this again. Maybe I didn't hold it long enough. Okay. Maybe I have to wait till the whole screen thing happens. Well, maybe this is a booting process here. All right. Now I'll let go. Here we go. Oh, there. Yeah, look at that. Oh, man. Get down to the ground. Come on. Okay, try this again. I mean, it's a tough game any way you slice it. Shoot. Yeah, I would definitely have to really practice this up to do better. Up, there we go, into space. It's interesting, it really is. Man. All right, let's try a different game now. All right, well, you can't go wrong with Pac-Man. We're going to give this game a try. I have right here a Sega control stick. This is a Master System joystick, and when it was originally released, it came with a much larger top on its handle, and I even call it like a box. But I converted this back on Wired Up Retro episode 4. I converted it with a 7800 controller top or stick. So anyway, I really like the feel of it. It's a really nice controller. It's not only electronically set up to be very accurate, which I like, but it's got these anchor points for my hands. So when I'm playing the game, I really feel like I've got stability, and it's, like I said, anchoring my hand. All right, let's get this game playing. I don't have this memorized, and you know, memorizing the pattern was always the trick with Pac-Man. Yeah, back when I was a kid, I did Ms. Pac-Man on my 2600, and I could really go far because I had it pretty well memorized. Oh boy. Oh no, they got me trapped. That was not the proper pattern. Okay, let's try it again. But anyway, I am getting nice control, I have to say. Ikonsgr, you did a great job with this adapter. I feel like I'm in control. And that's the way it ought to be. It's a really nice adapter. I'm enjoying it. Get him. See if I can get him. Yep. Bring the red. Gotta finish this. Yes. You know, I've played this game before with other controllers, and I always thought the 5200 version's a little suspect. But you know, now I'm playing it with this, I'm realizing that it was made just fine. It's just the controller, man. It's the controller. Okay, I better get it back there. Get them all. I'm stubborn. That was close. Should have stayed over here, but I probably would have got cornered anyway. Man, I'm so close. All right, let's just do it. All right. Well, I sure had a lot of fun thanks to Ikonsgr's adapter. It's basically a Master Play clone revisited. And if you're interested in it, definitely check him out on eBay. You can also go into Atariage and message him. Ikonsgr is going to get back to you pretty quickly there. eBay is a good source, obviously, well trusted. If it doesn't work out right, you always get your money back and all that. But you know what? I've known Ikonsgr for quite a long time, and he's always come through. He makes a high quality product, and I would definitely vouch for him and give him the big thumb up. So if you're in a 5200 player, or maybe you're not a 5200 player and you're thinking about getting a system, now is your big chance. 63 of 69 games are going to be a whole lot of fun to play with it. And I would definitely recommend getting that adapter and enjoying your 5200 with it. All right, so I will look forward to talking to you guys in the near future. I've got another episode in the works, or it will be in the works very soon here. So I look forward to sharing something new with you, as I always do. If you haven't subscribed to my channel as of yet, definitely give me a subscribe, give me a thumb up. Look forward to talking with some of you down in the comments. I always enjoy the feedback, part of the Wired Up Retro experience. So look forward to talking to you guys in the near future. You guys have a great time out there playing your games. Take care.